Let's go back to the topic of this weekend's attempted assassination of Donald Trump. The financial markets have been on an upward swing recently. Well, we wanted to know what the markets are saying in response to growing support for the Republican nominee. Let's bring in BNN Bloomberg's Jon Erlichman. And Jon, is there a Trump factor? And what does it mean?
Well, Sandy, there's definitely a Trump factor at play in the markets. Now, keep in mind, investors have already been in a pretty positive mood. Traders love certainty, and they're starting to feel like they have more clarity, for example, on the road ahead for interest rates. Now, political uncertainty, that's more of a wild card. But with Donald Trump's lead in the polls right now, there is a general view in the markets that you have a business-friendly candidate with a widening lead in the polls. Donald Trump, generally seen as someone who would be more friendly to corporations on taxes and regulation. Now, certainly there's still a lot of question marks about a Trump presidency on things like trade and tariffs, but in the stock market, you've started to see health insurers moving higher on the idea of less regulation. We saw gun manufacturers moving higher, shares of private prison operators, even cryptocurrencies advancing on these developments, with Trump seen as a more Bitcoin-friendly president. Comparatively, you started to see a deterioration in share prices for companies tied to the green energy transition, something that Democrats have been quite supportive of. But on top of all of that, there is also the reality that election years in the United States generally are good for the stock market. If you look since 1960, just 2000 and 2008 were negative years. So it appears like investors are leaning into the polls, but also the history books with this record run up for stocks. Sandy?
Okay, Jon, thanks. Appreciate it.